Welcome back. Jack Kelly is the CEO, founder, and executive recruiter at one of the oldest and largest global search firms in his area of expertise. He has personally placed thousands of professionals with top tier companies over the last 20 plus years. Jack is passionate about advocating for job seekers. He's also a senior contributor for Forbes, co host of the Blind Ambition podcast, and author of Happy and Succeeding in Your Job Search. Thanks so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about WeCruitr and your background.
So with WeCruitr, during the pandemic, we started a startup, and it was pretty much a philanthropic kind of endeavor in that we wanted to help people. As you know, it's what, thousands and thousands of people lost their jobs. People worried about losing their jobs. So what we did is we had like crash courses in how to interview, how to negotiate salary, how to find a recruiter, uh, anything you need to know to succeed. And it was fantastic because people were it's funny now, like 3 years later, we kind of forget about it. But at the time, people panicked. They're worried. Am I ever going to get a job again? Am I ever going to get employed? What's going to happen? So we kind of gave them all the tools to do it. And it's one of those things where this is going to sound weird, but like, I'm happy that happened because we were able to contribute and really make people's lives better during such a dark time.
Yeah, isn't it so nice to be
Yeah.
able to do something that
Yeah.
helps others? And I remember those days. Nobody
Yeah.
knew if businesses were going
Yeah.
to exist. Nobody knew, but now hopefully we're out of it. And you've learned all of this, and you've been able to create and author this new book, Happy and Succeeding in Your Job Search, which is such a perfect time for this book. Tell us why you feel it was really critical to get the book out right now.
Because what's happening now is it went from, we talk about the pandemic, to things got not only good, went crazy, went parabolic. Everything seemed wonderful. People were being hired. You had the great resignation, quiet quitting, acting your wage, bare minimum Mondays. So like people would just, they had jobs and weren't worried. And then all of a sudden, 2022 coming into 2023 happens, and now you have layoffs. There's like 300,000 tech people laid off from last year to this year. So people are worried again. We have high inflation, high interest rates, worrying about World War III. I mean, you could just keep putting on this stuff, so people are concerned. So what I wanted to do is have a way to tell people, hey, here's what you can do, and make it really simple. How to find a recruiter, how to interview, what do you need to do for salary negotiations, what do you do on LinkedIn to get noticed. So kind of taking baby steps along the way so you could kind of learn, all right, here are the tools, here's what I can do to help myself find a job. Or even if you have a job, how do I switch jobs without getting caught, without my boss knowing about it, without getting fired because they find out that I'm looking? So try to package that all together. So it's like one way to just to kind of manage your career and succeed.
What advice do you have for job seekers? How can they stand out? Do they put the open to work on their LinkedIn profile? Do they let recruiters find them? Or is it a job in itself to go find a job right now?
It's definitely a job in itself. It's like that's your new job. Even if you're working, I would say this: if you're working or not working, you want to kind of hedge your bets. So let's say you're happy where you are and you're doing well. You still want to hedge your bets by finding some recruiters who specialize in your space. You can't just get any recruiter. You want to find someone who knows what you do, your background, your experience. For instance, you're a marketing executive. If you asked me to help as a compliance recruiter, I probably couldn't help too much. And you would end up being annoyed, like, why is Jack not helping? So you want to find someone who knows that area, who can make the introductions, who know the HR people, who know hiring managers, who knows the corporate culture to help guide you through it. If you're looking for a job, similarly, you want to do everything to stand out because, as you pointed out, it's a crowded field. So what can you do? Go on LinkedIn. For most white-collar professionals, LinkedIn is a go-to place. So you go there, you want to post things. You want to comment on other things. You want to get in touch with recruiters, internal recruiters at the companies. You also want to leverage your network. I think that's the most important part. You don't want to go it alone, and you don't have to go it alone. So if you find somebody who knows somebody at a target company, let's say you would love to work for Google. Instead of just sending an email, you want to find someone, who do I know that works at Google? Or if not, who do I know who knows someone, like six separate, degrees of separation?
Right.
Who do I know who could kind of put a good word in for me and say, hey, Jack submitted a resume, but I really want you to take a look at him. That's kind of a little hack because most people feel, hey, I'm just going to send over, my resume and that's it. But if you could kind of get behind the scenes, get that right person, it's a big difference.
So true. It's so
Yeah.
true. And I love helping people that are looking for their next roles. And I know people feel really good when they can help somebody get into a role that they love, especially if they've been seeking for a while. This has been incredible. I know that all the viewers are probably writing all the stuff down, taking screenshots of pictures of the screen, and just really going to come back. And I'm sure they're going to buy your book. So thank you so much,
Oh,
Jack, for
thank
coming
you.
on, talking with us, and for being on
My
Liftoff.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't go away. We'll be right back.